Welcome back, friends. Today we'll be talking about the Rosary and Marian Apparitions. And the first place, as always, with any sort of endeavor, we should define our terms. So what do we mean by the Rosary? And I presume if you're already on our channel, you already have some basic understanding, but it doesn't hurt to A, define what we're talking about, and B, just go through a quick rundown of what I'm talking about. And Sarah, do you happen to have a visual of a rosary?
Of course I don't. I was looking around desperately, but I am not near any of my ordinary things. I'm secluded in a room.
50,000 rosaries.
Right, 9,000 rosaries in the house, at least. Yeah.
Not
I'm
one.
in a room right next to 3 of them. I could go grab one quickly, but.
All right. At the next episode, we will all hold one up as a demo, but all right, let's move forward. The rosary as an object, if we had one of them, is a chaplet or string of beads, and these beads are grouped in 5 sets of 10, which we call decades, with a large bead or other ornament separating each of these sets of 10. The beads culminate in a small medallion with the Virgin Mary's picture, and then a string of 1 bead, 3 beads, and 1 bead suspended by a small crucifix. The chaplet may also be 1 long string of beads, but it's more commonly arranged to look somewhat like a necklace, though it should not be one as one. The chaplet is used to pray the Rosary, a set of prayers and meditations, and this is, of course, now we're coming into the meat of it, on the life of Jesus Christ and his mother, the Virgin Mary. The devout Roman Catholics take the Rosary very seriously and use it as a means of meditation as well as intercessory prayer. The Rosary, like many things in Roman Catholic tradition, is steeped in history. It is beyond the scope of an article, and I have links to all the articles and references I usually do in the show notes, such as this, to discuss it fully. But the origin of the Rosary dates back to the 3rd and 4th centuries, so that's sort of where it began. And that was because the laity wanted to imitate the monastic customs of prayer, which involved reciting the entire book of Psalms each day, 150 Psalms. Most peasants could not read or write, but they could remember short prayers. They took to praying the Lord's Prayer or the Our Father and keeping track of how many times they prayed with it by pebbles or a knotted rope, using 1 knot or pebble for each prayer. The Rosary prayers are counted on the chaplet's beads according to prescribed form. Detailed instructions for the Rosary are widely available. And so that's certainly the Ave Maria is prayed on each set of the 10 beads. The Lord's Prayer begins every decade. On the large beads, you end with the Gloria Patri, and perhaps another prayer such as the Fatima prayer of, "Oh my Jesus, forgive us our sins, save us from the fires of hell." The prayers are ended with at the end, the Hail Holy Queen, and another which begins, "O God, whose only begotten Son, by his life, death, and resurrection," so forth. The person also meditates on particular events in the lives of Jesus and Mary while praying. Saint Dominic, and so now we're going to move into a different tradition, or an evolution of tradition. Saint Dominic popularized a form of the Rosary in the 13th century. It changed over the centuries, and by the Renaissance, it was similar to the modern form. The Virgin Mary is often associated with the rose, and the word rosary comes from the Latin rosarium, or crown of roses.
Did you want me to comment on that? I was just thinking one of the things that is so helpful in regards to the prayer and the way that it is prayed, is that it is conducive to the human person to be able to use that prayer of the Hail Mary to anchor themselves while they are thinking about other things. So we know that we have just a general tendency towards distraction, and it's very easy for our minds to wander. But the beauty of the Rosary is that Mary is the Hail Mary becomes our anchor, and she holds us steady to our meditation. And is every time that we sort of lose our focus, we're brought back into that prayer, which leads us back to the meditation. And it's just a really, it's a very efficacious prayer.
It's very efficacious. All right, my friends, till the next time, Fides et Ratio.